Welcome back, future scientists. In this math tutorial for grade 12 advanced functions, we are going to go one step further and from our previous video, and I'm going to show you how to factor polynomials. In addition to that, I'm going to show you a trick you can do on your calculators to help save you precious time on your next test. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing you always want to do when you're trying to factor is look for that common factor, right? What can we pull out right away to make the rest of the problem a little bit easier? And here we can notice in every term there's an x and every coefficient is even. So we can pull out a 2x. So when we do that, we're left with just 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 3x and then minus 2. Okay, so now we have to factor this cubic here. So let's just focus on this cubic. So if I call that f of x, how am I going to factor that? Well, what we're going to use is something called the factor theorem, which is a special case of the remainder theorem that we did in our previous video. We are going to plug in values for x, and when the remainder is 0, we know that's a factor. This is what can be time consuming because you can plug in, try f at 2, right? And you're going to plug in 2 for every value of x. What would you get? And so you would write 2 times 2 cubed plus 3 times 2 squared minus 3 times 2 minus 2. So what does that equal? And you're going to try it for maybe another number like 3 or negative 3, negative 2, 1, 0, negative 1, until you get something that works. You can be spending long times on your calculator or just doing this in your head, but still taking time to figure it out. What I'm going to show you is how to do it very quickly on your calculators. So let's just switch and check our calculators. So what I'm going to show you on the calculators is how to check for all different possible factors of our function all at once without having to go over it again and again and again. So I'll do it on the Casio and the Sharp because I know students have both. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Mode. We're going to select Table. And see we have f at x. So we're going to plug in 2. X is over here. It's in red. So we're going to hit alpha x and then cubed, so to the power of 3. Then we have plus 3x squared and minus 3x, and then we had minus 2. So then hit equals. We don't need a g of x for what we're doing. Then it says start. So we're going to start from, for example, negative 5. So let's start from negative 5. And we can end at positive 5. So we're going to go from negative 5 to positive 5, and every step is going to be 1. So what this does is it's going to create a table. And for x equals negative 5, the function's minus 162. If it's negative 4, if it's negative 3, oh, and look, it actually works for negative 2. And it works for positive 1. So I've already found 2 factors instantly. X minus 1 would be a factor, and x plus 2 is a factor. See how that works? Convenient, isn't it? On the Sharp, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go to Mode. And here's tables number 2. And function 1, so we're going to type in 2x. So x is here in green, so alpha x. And then to the power of 3. So 2x cubed plus 3x squared, and then minus 3x minus 2. Again, we don't have a second function for our example, and we can start from anywhere if you want to do minus 5. There's no endpoint, so we'll just have the step as 1. And we hit equals. Same thing. Starts from minus 5, and it shows us what the function equals for minus 4, minus 3, minus 2. So there it equals 0 for minus 2, so x plus 2 is a factor, just as we showed before, and it equals 0 for 1, so x minus 1 is a factor. And this one just keeps going and going and going. You can even, if you wanted to, make the step a half if you wanted to test what each half point is as well. Isn't that simple? All right, let's continue. All right, now that we know that x can have a value of 1 with no remainder, we can say that x minus 1 is a factor. So we can pull out x minus 1 from this. How we're going to do that is with long division or synthetic division. I've made a previous video of long division. You can check that out here. If you want me to make a video showing you synthetic division, let me know in the comments and I'll go ahead and do that. So once you do your long division, what you get as your answer will be 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. Okay, last step is to factor this further. This is grade 10 math. There are different ways you can go ahead and do that. If you prefer factor by grouping, you can factor by grouping, or if you prefer like a guess and check method. In this case, it is a complex trinomial, but that's just a 2. So we can quickly do just a guess and check method where we will have x and some sort of constant. So two numbers that multiply to give 2. Well, not many options. We're going to go 2 and 1. And then two numbers over here that multiply to give 2. Again, not many options. Let's go 2 and 1. And then if you cross multiply, you get 2 and 2. So 2 plus 2 equals 4. That doesn't work. We're looking for 5. So let's try switch these up, and we'll put a 1 and a 2 here. So now we get 2 times 2, which is 4. 1 times 1, which is 1, so that's 5. So this is going to break down further into 2x plus 1 and 1x, or just x, plus 2. There you go. We factor that. Our next step is going to be using these factors to be able to graph. And that will be our next tutorial. So I hope that video helped. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you're taking grade 12 physics, you can download my course pack for free in the description, along with the calculus course packs that I use as well. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.